In the heart of America, there's a road that pulses with the rhythm of a nation. A road that weaves through the fabric of history, connecting the East to the West and the past to the present. This road is Route 66.
As we celebrate the centennial of this legendary route, we embark on a journey unlike any other, one that pays homage to the spirit of freedom, adventure, and discovery.
And what better way to traverse this iconic highway than on Harley-Davidson motorcycles?
We're starting Route 66. Getting our kicks.
We're looking for the keys. They're somewhere. There's the bike start, but need to find those fobs.
We didn't find them. But the bike started up just fine, so we packed up the saddlebags and headed into downtown Chicago. Before we set out on the Mother Road, we spent the afternoon checking out the Windy City by taking the Riverwalk all the way to Navy Pier for dinner. The next morning, our journey would begin.
The next day, our epic road trip began, but not without a little technical difficulty.
We're having to go to YouTube University to learn how to work the dash on this bike.
Thanks to the internet, Marisa was able to sort things out quickly, and we loaded up to hit the road.
All right, here's the start. Let's go.
Yeah, this is going to be an epic trip on epic motorcycles with epic friends.
This is the American motorcycle road trip. If you've not done Route 66 on a Harley, it's time.
Our morning ride through the streets of Chicago was short-lived because
If you're gonna start Route 66 in Chicago, you have to start it at Lou Mitchell's. And it's a little family-owned restaurant that started in 1923, so technically it's 3 years older than the route itself.
they've been serving people traveling Route 66 since before it was a designated highway. So we popped in for one of their famous skillet omelets and a cup of joe.
Full of food and excitement, we got this road trip underway, navigating the streets of Chicago until we finally reached the outskirts of town and the vibrantly green Illinois countryside.
Route 66 was born in 1926 as one of America's first highways. Cyrus Avery, often called the father of Route 66, helped connect Chicago to Santa Monica, routing it through his hometown of Tulsa. Most of the roads already existed, but the goal was to pave and unify them, making cross-country travel easier and faster.
In the 1930s, the Great Depression and Dust Bowl forced thousands of families, especially farmers from the Midwest, to pack up and head west on Route 66. California promised jobs and fertile land. The highway became a path to a better life, and ultimately a symbol of hope and the American dream.
In this era, Harley-Davidson was deeply tied to the ideals of freedom and self-reliance, values that resonated deeply during the Great Depression. During this time of economic struggle, the motor company adapted by offering smaller, more affordable bikes like the Model D.
By 1940, Harley had firmly established itself as a leader in the motorcycle industry. The company helped define motorcycling both as a practical choice and a profound expression of freedom and individuality. Motorcycling in America quickly became a symbol of independence and adventure, much like Route 66 itself.
This trip wasn't just any old road trip. We were taking a step back in time and imagining what it would have been like to ride this road over the last 100 years.
It wasn't long until we started noticing a plethora of Route 66 themed attractions. For those who live along the highway, Route 66 is part of their identity. The residents and business owners along the Mother Road have become stewards of the historic route, including this place in Gardner, Illinois, simply called The Shop, where the owner, Tom, is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the history of this little town and the main street that runs through it.
7 years ago, we were actually on the bike, and I told my wife, this time we're taking the route all the way across.
Our first day on Route 66 was proving to be a great start to this 2-week road trip. We'd made it out of one of the biggest cities in the country, had met some interesting people, and although it was hot, it was a gorgeous day to be on a motorcycle. Everything was progressing smoothly until it almost wasn't.
Down. More. Well, I think it'll all.
We've had our first almost oops. Marisa's trunk came unlocked.
Okay. This one I don't think is snapped in. Does this look? No, it's got to be snapped in completely. Let's open it again and then push it forward. Yeah, it's not forward enough.
That was close.
Did you see it bouncing up?
Yeah. I thought your lid wasn't closed. And then I came up to say some snide stuff to you, but then I realized it wasn't your fault.
I thought it was your fault.
Well, all I know is I put my hand back there to feel it, and I felt the whole top end tipping up. So that's a good save, because that wouldn't have been good if that popped off.
We checked the other 2 boxes, and with all the camera gear luckily still in my possession, we set back off.
It wasn't long before we stopped again, but this time it was to take in a piece of history that most people would fly right by without even noticing.
This is the original section of Route 66, and you see it's kind of broken and in disrepair, but it's cool that they've left it.
Old Route 66 on a brand new Harley. Quite the interesting juxtaposition, quite the interesting feeling. I wonder the history, all the people that have rode this stretch of road and driven this stretch of road. Crazy.
The whole way along Route 66 we'll see little historic chunks of the route like this, so that'll be a neat little flashback.
We found more neat roadside attractions like this mural, a huge wiener, retro gas stations, and a giant wagon. And of course, we had to tag RoadRUNNER everywhere we could.
Eventually, we made it to our first Burma shave signs of the trip, which are displayed around Dead Man's Curve in Towanda.
Around the curve, lickety-split, beautiful car, wasn't it?
Well, you wouldn't be riding through Illinois without riding past a giant silo.
There's some more of old Route 66 there. See the old road?
It was cornfield after cornfield as we worked our way through Illinois. Eventually, we stumbled upon one of the most unique stretches of Route 66, the Brick Road near Auburn.
It's not as rough as I thought it would be.
This 1.4-mile stretch was completed in 1931.
It was commissioned in 1926, but it wasn't fully paved until 1938. So it had 12 years where each of the states individually worked to pave their sections of the highway. And so for that period of time, there were some sections that were paved, there were some sections that were paved in brick like this, and then there were some sections that were still just an old dirt trail. So in the early days of Route 66, you had to be able to traverse any kind of terrain. And I know in certain sections of the country, those trails got really muddy and dirty and rough. It was a very difficult journey.
Yeah, I wonder how long on average it took people to traverse Route 66.
I would say that depends heavily because, there's a lot of things that could go wrong when you're going over 2,000 miles across the country back then in those kind of vehicles, right?
Of course.
So if you got lucky and you got to just do it all in one take with no major issues versus having breakdowns and everything else.
And it was at this moment that we had our second mechanical of the trip.
It wouldn't be a road trip on a Harley if something didn't rattle off.
We're broken down on the brick road.
Caleb fixed it up quickly, and we were back on the brick road in no time.
And that's it.
That's it. Short and sweet.
We'd been on the road all morning, having neglected to feed Florian before we set off. So it was time we stopped to fill him up before he turns into a gremlin.
Small town diners are common along Route 66, as we would find out over the next couple of weeks. U-Belts in Litchfield has been around since 1922, and their breakfast hits the spot.
This is what we're searching for.
It looks like it's probably somewhere in Illinois. I do think so. Mainly because the street sign says Illinois Route 66. But also my keen eye realized that if you look at the grass, that is definitely an Illinois type of grass. And Illinois uses this very specific rock in the road construction. So
That's what we're looking for now.
we set off once again, this time with our eyes peeled for the sign that my mom Krista posed in front of while riding Route 66 30 years ago. Not too far down the road, we found it and got to work recreating the shot, the second one of the trip so far.
You guys know how truckers give each other handles? I think we should come up with names for each other too.
All right.
So I think, Florian, your road name has to be Road Wolf.
That's fitting because of my dad's tattoo. Usually I'm the road captain, even though on this trip, Marisa, you are intrepid leader with the route. Caleb, just because of the beautiful paint job on your motorcycle and probably a little bit of your personality, I'm gonna say you're gonna be Whiskey Fire. How about that?
It's Whiskey Fire.
Oh, Whiskey Fire. Oh, even better, Whiskey Fire.
Coming in with the hillbilly jabs, huh? Whiskey Far.
Whiskey Fire.
I'll take it. I'll
Whiskey
take
Fire.
it. I guess she's had a recent infatuation with trucker hats, so we'll call her Trucker 66. How about that?
Trucker 66.
You guys don't like my RoadRUNNER trucker hat?
Oh no, it is fabulous. I mean, that is the best trucker hat I've ever seen. I mean, that just screams open road in America. I love it.
It's trendy. You should be in a Peterbilt, but a Harley will have to do.
Also, this hat is available in the RoadRUNNER store. Click the link above.
That's right. Check the link in the description. Shop.roadrunner.travel. We got Trucker 66, Whiskey Fire, and Road Wolf.
I like it. It's classic Americana road names there.
Oh my God, Marisa, that is so funny. You just caterpillared your way across the road out of the ditch. That looked so funny. And you know, you just got the classic Marisa photograph. And by classic Marisa photograph, I mean low angle through a flower in the foreground onto a riding shot. I mean, every story you submit has one of those photos in there. And I think we should give you a new name. Instead of Trucker 66, I think we should call you Ditch Lily. I think Ditch Lily, that's gonna be the one.
All right, I'll take it.
I think that's what I'm gonna call her for the rest of our lives.
You just gave me a forever nickname, Florian.
To round out our time in Illinois, we made a few more stops at Route 66 attractions, including the West End service station in Edwardsville. In 1929, the price of a gallon of gas was 21 cents. A much cheaper road trip back then.
Despite it being in the 90s, we walked up on the Chain of Rocks bridge and it was a good idea. From the water below, it was a nice cool breeze up there and we got a great view of the downtown of St. Louis and we saw the arch. With Illinois behind us and the sun starting to sink low on the horizon, we pressed on to Cuba, Missouri. After a delicious barbecue dinner, we found the Wagon Wheel Motel, the oldest continually operating hotel on Route 66. It was opened in 1936 and the original neon sign still buzzes to life every evening. Staying here was a non-negotiable on our trip and we are so glad we did.
In just 2 days, Route 66 had delivered everything we'd hoped for, and plenty we didn't expect. Quirky stops, friendly faces, sweltering heat, mechanical mishaps, and non-stop laughter. We retraced old memories, made new ones, and soaked in the magic of the Mother Road. And the best part? We were just getting started.